Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football, a little late night edition for the Miami Hurricanes as four-star tight end Elijah Lofton has committed to Miami in the 2024 class. There's a couple things that jump out. One, he was on the official visit last weekend, and that's the second commit from that weekend. What does that tell me? That official visit weekend that included what? Colin Simmons, Aiden Breland, Ellis Robinson. It sounds like Dylan Stewart, another five-star guy. It sounds like that official visit weekend went pretty well. So maybe it's a precursor to what's to come in terms of Miami building this class in 2024. But Elijah Lofton, Miami got a good one. And when you take a look at what Elijah Lofton brings to the table, it's hard to not say and watch this film, which we'll take a look at and say, that's a Mario Cristobal kind of guy. 6'2", 220, not necessarily your prototypical build for a tight end. Kind of reminds you of Brevin Jordan, who also came out of Bishop Gorman, who was 6'3", 230 pounds coming out of high school, coming out of Bishop Gorman. So Elijah Lofton brings a lot to the table. A couple things that will jump out. One, very smooth mover. Like when he's running routes, it's hard to believe that he's 220 pounds. With his speed, with his change of direction, with how smooth he makes it look. The second thing makes you say this was Mario Cristobal's guy. He's a dog when it comes to blocking. So I think Miami really got a good one. Again, before we get further into it, just want to say thank you to you guys. A late night edition here, but whenever I get a chance to talk Miami football, I always try to. You guys have shown just a ton of love and support to the fellas during transfer portal, high school recruiting. So I can't thank you guys enough for that. And hey, I don't think it's slowing down for Miami. I think it's only getting started for Miami in this 2024 class. So if you do enjoy the updates, you like talking recruiting, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, the support you guys have shown the boys truly does mean a lot. Without further ado, let's get into Elijah Lofton. I want to jump right into the film because it is truly some of the more fun film to watch in terms of we're not going to watch all his blocking, but you can tell he wanted it to be clear on his highlight film that he's a dog when it comes to blocking. The first play, you're just going to see a hustle play, and you're going to get to see his speed. Like, when you're watching this kid, it's important to remind yourself he's 220 pounds, and he can absolutely burn. He's going to be a guy that you'll line up in line. You're going to see him split out wide, can do a lot of different things, and that's one thing that really excites you. The next couple things, though, is you're going to see Elijah Lofton take so much pride in his blocking, which is relatively rare to see these elite tight ends want to block like Elijah Lofton does. And Elijah Lofton's a dude that clearly takes pride in it. That's something obviously Mario Cristobal really liked. Here in space, just taking down two guys, very, very impressive willingness to block. And that's kind of what it comes down to. Like most people can be good blockers if you're willing to block. And Elijah Lofton certainly has that. And you're going to see this play just like straight up dogging him. Like he wants to put people on their butts, which is something that I love out of a tight end that is one of the best tight end in the country. He's the best player coming out of Nevada in this class. Now, let's also get to him being just a playmaker too. Like he's certainly not just a guy that just blocks. This is where you get into how smooth he moves and how much of a matchup nightmare he's going to be. You see kind of like a walk-in safety trying to deal with Elijah Lofton. He's going to run right by him in like a smooth glider and then tracks the ball extremely well. When you watch that, it's hard to imagine that he is 220 pounds. He's also very good after the catch as well, but vertically down the field, he can work the boundary, but I see him more as like working that middle of the field. But I just, what jumps off the film is just how fast he is and how good of a route runner and smooth mover he is. I mean, tracking the ball once again, that's against Mater Dei, with the premier high school in California. Went for 8 catches and 112 yards, sits it down right here. Very good after the catch. There's so much to like about what Elijah Lofton brings to the table. He's going to be able to be used in a lot of different ways. You saw the blocking. I have no problem lining him up in line, but also splitting him out wide because he can run routes like the best of them. Very, very exciting guy for Elijah Lofton that I think Mario Cristobal clearly wants to bring in a lot of tight ends. Brought 2 tight ends in the 2023 class, obviously headlined by Riley Williams. And then, hey, lands Elijah Lofton, and they're going after Caleb Oden again too. So maybe 2 tight ends in this class. Now, what's even more exciting and getting to Miami fans maybe being a little frustrated with the lack of premier 5 stars according to 24/7 composite that's being brought in this class. I think it's on the way. When you go we talked about this before, when you go after the type of guys Miami's going after, I mean, they're going after some whales, some guys who are top 10 nationally, top 50 nationally. That recruiting process, it might get drawn out a little bit longer. Miami closed really well in 2023. I expect Mario Cristobal to close really well in 2024. Now, getting to who is going to be on campus this weekend, we'll take a peek on who was on campus last weekend. Justin Scott seems to be the guy. From everything I'm hearing, and it's clearly from Mario Cristobal's actions, last year he probably brought in the best offensive line class in the country, right? Francis Marioga, Pancake Honcho. This year, and you saw in the transfer portal as well, he wants to bring in some guys on the defensive line. And Justin Scott, arguably the best defensive lineman in the country, coming in on his official visit, a lot of the crystal balls, a lot of what you're hearing is Miami's in the lead here. I don't know if they'll be able to land a commitment out of this weekend, but I wouldn't put it past them to get a guy on Justin Scott. And that would really starting to kick things off for this Miami class in 2024. Another guy to keep an eye on is Kevin Riley. Kevin Riley's a dude that, again, another guy that's trending to Miami. They were going after Jarrett Gibson. Kevin Riley offers from Alabama. Like, he is the sixth best running back in the country, according to 24/7 Sports, a top 100 national recruit. Miami trending in the right direction for a guy in Kevin Riley, too. Another guy to keep an eye on for me, Jaden Jackson. Like, outside the top 400 nationally, according to the 24/7 Sports composite, his offer list is not that's not what he is. I mean, Georgia offered, Ohio State offered, like a lot of these Power 5 programs value Jaden Jackson. He's probably one of those guys that you feel comfortable playing right away. I mean, 6'2", 300 pounds, can two-gap like the best of them. Miami seems to be firmly in the mix with that. They've been recruiting IMG Academy extremely well. They've had a lot of IMG visitors in the 2024 class. They obviously landed some in the 2023 class. And then going up to, I'm just going to put this one out there for Miami fans. Jeremiah Smith taking a visit. He's committed to Ohio State, but I don't think he's exactly committed to Ohio State. So I'm not saying Miami's going to land Jeremiah Smith, but hey, getting him on campus, if there is a guy in this class to roll out the red carpet for, maybe get a very special NIL package for, it probably would be Jeremiah Smith. Probably, in my mind, the best player in the country. He's obviously the number one wide receiver. I think there's a good argument he's the best player in this 2024 class. And then a really big visit weekend to round out the month where you have a lot of commits. And again, Caleb Oden, another top tight end, top 100 dude nationally, he'll be on campus. Another one of those, like, you got a lot of guys that Miami's trending towards that are so closer to that top 250, top 100 range. Again, it's early, but Miami seems to be in the running for so many quality players in this 2024 class. It might take a little bit to close. You might not have as good of a start as some other programs do to this 2024 class, but I think by December, and that's when it matters. Like, it don't matter if they're verbally committed. A guy like Ellis Robinson, again, seems like it's almost Miami's got more traction than Georgia right now. It doesn't matter until they sign that line in December. And so, yes, it's a slow start maybe for Miami fans, but you got to be feeling pretty good about what this 2024 class is going to look like. They brought Mario Cristobal in to acquire talent. That is what Mario Cristobal has specialized his whole coaching career. Nobody recruits harder than Mario Cristobal. I have a lot of confidence that Miami's going to be landing a very, very good class in 2024 as well. Wanted to hop on, talk a little Elija Lofton, talk about what this 2024 class could look like. Again, appreciate you guys for rocking with the fellas. You guys have been absolutely awesome. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.